It's Tiffany's Content, and we're going to go ahead and get into that flooding activity that we have in the United States that's threatening most of our Gulf Coast and just came out of our West Coast. Let's take a look. So right here on that satellite imagery, you're going to see some of those clouds coming in. Those blue clouds are those colder clouds, but as they get more yellow and orange, it's lightning and thunderstorms and rain in those clouds, and that's what's causing all that flooding activity. And you can see that right there in the Gulf. You can also see it coming out of the West Coast as well. Let's take a zoom in a little bit, and you can see all that convection, all that, cold clouds moving on in, but the warmer clouds are also, overshadowing it. Basically, it's coming in with the threat, definitely bringing in lots of precipitation over there by Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and going right up into Arkansas and Tennessee. Look at this freezing fog right there in Texas and Oklahoma. We're going to zoom in on that, but all that flooding is in Louisiana, like I told you, in the Gulf, and then you got winter activity in the Midwest with a lot of flooding there as well. Even up the East Coast, the Northeast, a lot of winter activity still. And over on the West Coast, it's trying to ease up, but you still got wind and fog, and also at winter activity over there, a little ice coming out of, New Mexico, but definitely some wind up there in, the upper Midwest. So we still have a lot going on. All that heavy rainfall is right down there in the Gulf, and it's still some ice, freezing rain out there as well. And so, we just got to keep up paying attention to everything that's going on, because it's definitely some parts moving as everything trying to melt down, okay? But you got to watch out for that black ice and freezing rain, okay? You're going to see more heavy rainfall coming in for the next few days, and more freezing ice as well, the Midwest and going up that northeast coast. So just make sure that you're aware of that. It is not over yet, but you're going to see definitely some rainfall today going in through the next few days, trying to melt down all that snow. But what does it feel like today? Okay, look at that. 40 degrees, 30 degrees. Look at that. The Midwest, it feels like 30 and not negative 30. Look at the South, 60 degrees, but be careful, because that's where all those storms are sprucing up. All that warmer air meeting with that colder air causing, storms. Now let's take a look at the temperatures for today, and you can see all that warm air down there definitely sprucing up some storms, but more moderate in the, central plains. As it gets more, towards the upper, United States, it's definitely going to be a little bit more colder. So this is for the night temperature. So, but let's take a look at that rainfall, and this is just for today. That Gulf is definitely sprucing up some storms. So please be aware of lightning, thunderstorms. A lot of, flooding activity is already down there. Yes, it was a drought, but boy, it can also be damaging to, it only takes 12 inches to, wash your cars away. So be careful and look at the next few days. All that rain is definitely coming in. It is going right up that northeast coast and hammering it. Even the West Coast is flooded as well. Okay, so just be aware. We're going to have a lot of flooding activity this week going into the weekend. Okay, let's take a look at those hazards, and you can see all that pink right there is where all that flooding started, and it's actually, sitting there and lingering. Okay, and then you got all that heavy rain over there, definitely coming up out of the Gulf, and even on the West Coast as well. And you got some heavy precipitation in Alaska too. So let's take a look at that excessive rainfall in the Gulf. See, this is where all that flash flood warnings can be, we have to look out for, okay? Because this can also cause a lot of, thunderstorms, lightning, and definitely mixed precipitation, and it's going right up that Gulf Coast, okay? And it's going right into Tennessee, into Kentucky, and it's going to meet up with that system in the Midwest and try to cause a little, last snowstorm for the month, okay? We'll talk about that, but you can see right here in that red where all that excessive rainfall is and flash flood warnings. This is serious detail, because this can cause tornadic activity, okay? So this is why it's been highlighted, because this is where those tornadoes like to come in at when that warm air is meeting with that cold air and they just clash together, okay? This is like the meeting point, okay? So just be aware that this can also be tornadic activity and that excessive rainfall with the flash flood. Let's take a look at the action. So out of that West Coast, a lot of that snow and mixed precipitation is moving on towards those central plains, bringing in a little ices and rain, a lot of rainfall out of of the Gulf, but as it's meeting with that, Central Plains, it's definitely, going up to the Midwest, bringing a little ice and snow as it try to move out with a lot more rain this weekend. Zoom in here and you can see where all that rain activity is currently right now, and also some thunderstorms, lightning in there as well. So you can see it's coming right out of Texas into, Louisiana. Then you got coming right in out of Mississippi into Tennessee and going up into Kentucky, and definitely taking a toll on the East Coast. But look at that. This is more zoomed in, and you can see it right through Missouri. Even a little bit of Illinois is in there as well. So we have to be careful. This system is moving, okay, and it's moving up and in, okay. It's definitely in the Gulf Coast. It's also taking a toll on Florida there as well too. So you're going to see pockets of rainfall coming through Florida in and out today, so just be aware of that, mostly by the panhandle, okay. And it's going to be, a little bit of drizzle here and there, but definitely going to be flooding activity as you go up that northeast coast, okay. And you can see it here going into New York, Pennsylvania, and even into Maine, okay, trying to reach that Maine activity. So just be aware. I'm going to show you where all these watches and warnings are. We have some freezing fog out there. Yes, right along with that dense fog right there by, Texas going into Oklahoma. It's still a lot of freezing fog, okay. That means it's foggy and it's still cold, so that drips are freezing in mid-air, and it's causing, freezing fog. So just be aware of that visibility when you're driving all along Texas and Oklahoma, and there's even a little bit in Wyoming, but just be careful. All night it was freezing fog and also hazardous weather, okay? So just be aware of that, and you can see that right here in Oklahoma. It's still a lot of dense fog in there as well too. It's trying to warm up because those warmer temperatures, but remember, still by Texas we still have that freezing fog, but it's still dense fog. It still, can be a threat when you're driving. Take a look at Louisiana. Definitely flood watches all through Louisiana, right smack there in the center of the, state. So just be aware of that. And it's moving on up into Arkansas as well. So just make sure that you're aware. We have a lot of flood watches, even moving over into Tennessee as well. Definitely impacting a lot of driving and visibility, and definitely going to be 3 to 4 inches of rain coming down in just the one day, okay. And you can see here on this map, it's going into Memphis, Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee. Definitely a lot of dense fog over there as well too. So just be aware, it's moving up with the hazards condition. I'll show you another. We have more flood watches going on, okay, and this one is more towards Alabama, okay, right there smack in the middle of the state as well. So you got a lot of potential impacts for sliding and slippery. A lot of flooding activity can move those cars away. And then look at that, right into Jackson, Mississippi too. So I just wanted to show you all these watches and warnings out there. A lot of people don't even know that they're out there, but it is out there, and the National Weather Service loves that we share this information with you. I'm not forecasting, I'm not predicting, we're just reacting to this crazy weather. This is a weather community, so just be careful when you hear other weather channels talking about each other. They do not have the best interest for you, okay? They are just in it for the money. The followers and subscribers, that's what they're in it for, and they're all competing against each other. And here I am just starting something new with you all. So I really appreciate it when you come on over. I'm going to give it to you the right way. No drama. This is a weather reaction channel, and we're going to definitely react to everything that they're putting out there. It's Tiffany's content. Like, share, subscribe.